BVI Channel 1. I still remain associate Peter, so welcome you on today's fresh edition of Biafra Discourse. Yes, today I'm going to be bringing you one of the most exciting and most expecting interviews granted by Nnamdi Kanu to a national television in Israel. This interview is a must-watch. I want you to patiently and carefully listen to this interview, because we'll be right back here to analyze on every point that was shared on that interview. You sit there, watch it, and I'll be right back.
עכשיו בואו תשמעו סיפור שכנראה לא שמעתם עליו, שמתרחש בניגריה ולמעשה בביאפרה. כולנו אולי זוכרים את השם ביאפרה שמדברת על הילדים הרעבים שם, אבל מסתבר שבחבל הארץ שבדרום מזרח ניגריה יש אוכלוסייה גדולה מאוד, עשרות אלפים, יש טוענים מיליונים, של אנשים הרואים עצמם כיהודים ושואפים לאוטונומיה, מדינה יהודית עצמאית בביאפרה שבניגריה. הם גם זוכים לדיכוי ביד קשה של הרשויות. המנהיג שלהם נכלא ונאלץ לברוח מביאפרה ומצא מקלט כאן בישראל, ממש לאחרונה, והוא נמצא איתנו כאן באולפן. I want to congratulate you and to thank you for coming us, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you. Yes.
From Biafra.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will shortly tell the story of how did you happen to come here. But let's talk a little bit about your people story in Biafra. How many people there consider themselves Jewish, and how did it manifest itself?
Biafra in total has about a population of, say, 70 million people scattered all over the world. As you know, they've called us the wandering Jews of Africa. But those that identify themselves with their Jewish heritage is nearly about 50 million people.
15 million people? 50
million people.
Do they practice Judaism? They practice Judaism?
A significant number of them practice Judaism.
In what way?
In terms of their prayers, in terms of the Torah that they read, in terms of the kippah and the talit they used to pray, in terms of their recitation of their prayers, is a very significant segment of the population that actually practice it as we do, or most of us do in IPOB. The problem is that when IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra, is this umbrella movement all over the world that is pursuing the emancipation of Biafra from Nigeria. So what's been happening is that when Christianity came with colonialism, a lot of our Jewish heritage was suppressed. We were made to feel ashamed of our Jewishness, so to speak. But luckily and fortunately for us, a lot of people bravely maintained that very tradition and culture till this very day. If you go to Umweri in Anambra State, it is there. All over the world, it is there. And even the Encyclopedia Britannica of 1929 mentioned it quite specifically, that the Igbos are the Jews of Africa, because all the traditions you have from circumcision to everything that you can think of in the book of Leviticus, we practice this very day.
We're talking about the Igbo nation, the Igbo people.
Yes.
Not all of them are Jewish, right? Not all the Igbos are Jewish, or they are?
They are all Jewish. The problem is that with the influence and influx of Christianity as a result of colonialism, a lot of that was dampened down. What happened was a lot of our emphasis was moved away from the Torah, the Old Testament, to the New Testament. But because the Old Testament still contained aspects of our tradition and our culture, we accepted the Bible as it was given to us.
Okay, we have a short clip showing you guys in Biafra in your Judaism way of life here.
Yes.
It's the sound. Centuries of colonial returning to what they say are their native roots. A place.
Quite fascinating.
Very, very fascinating.
Now I want to look at the map of Biafra and Nigeria, and maybe this map tells a little bit of the story. So actually, you guys in Biafra, what are you struggling for? What is your aim in your struggle? Why there is such a confrontation between you and the authorities?
Because we want to go back to where we were before the British came. Most of our problems was basically made by the British. The way Nigeria was put together is the root cause of the problem.
I'm talking about these days. Okay, there was a war, and Biafra was kind of independence between 1967 and 1970, I guess.
That's correct, yes.
And since then, it's part of Nigeria. What do you want? You want an independence state of Biafra? You want to be a Jewish state? You want kind of autonomy? What did you like? What do we want?
We
what
want an
for?
independent Jewish state, a Biafran state that is absolutely independent of anything to do with Nigeria, for the simple reason that we were independent before the British came.
But you want to be a Jewish state?
Absolutely. To go back to a way of life. There's a place called Arochukwu where we come from. The same way you have Jerusalem. The same way you have the temple in Jerusalem, we had one in Arochukwu. The same thing. So we want to go back to that way of life, to worshiping the one and only true God that we know.
Is there anyone within the Israeli establishment that recognized you as a Jewish people?
Absolutely. I'm sure that during the time of...
I'm just interrupting you. This is you praying at the Western Wall at the Kotel.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I prayed there also in the year 2013 when I came to Israel.
So coming back to my question about the recognition by Israel to your Jewish way of life, or to your Jewish heritage?
Our Jewish heritage.
Yeah.
And our way of life, yes. Isaac Rabin made some statements about that. Also, Henry Kissinger, the former United States Secretary of State, also made some comments about it as well. If you go to the Nixon papers regarding the Biafran War, it's all there, very clearly spelled out. But I think there seems to be this kind of paranoia that should Biafra get closer to Israel, that 70 million people will somehow flock to the land of Israel. But that is not the case. We are seeking Biafra, so we can return to Biafra and be in Biafra.
Let's go back to your personal story.
Yes.
You have been persecuted or arrested in Biafra. What was the story about?
I arrived in Nigeria, in Lagos, on the 14th of October 2015, and I was arrested from London. I was arrested for demanding for freedom for my people, because I run Radio Biafra in London, and the authorities didn't like it. Then I had to go I had to go home, basically, to see my people, and they arrested me and kept me locked away for 19 months.
19 months?
Yes, despite 2 court judgments to set me free. They took me to court, and the court
More
decided,
than a year and a half in custody?
Absolutely.
And then what happened?
Trial. And then they eventually granted me bail with very stringent conditions. When I came out, I continued to speak to my people. I continued to practice my Judaism, my Jewish faith. And one day, they came to my house to kill me. The Nigerian army came to my house to kill me.
What was it like, I mean?
I wouldn't wish anybody to go through it. They killed 28 people in the process.
How many?
28 people died.
By the attempt to kill you?
To kill me, they killed 28 people.
How come they killed 28 people and they didn't get to you?
Because my people evacuated me before they could get to my bedroom.
And then you flew away?
Then they took me away and smuggled me out of Nigeria. I needed some time to recover, which I did, and then I had to make my way to Israel.
I see you are very excited.
I wouldn't call it excitement. I would say relief that I managed to make it to the only place that I feel safe in the whole world. I could have gone back to England, but I still don't feel safe to go back to England. That's why I stayed in Israel.
Okay, we're approaching the end of this conversation. Do you have any expectation from Israel government, from the Israeli society?
Yes, it is to live up to the obligations to defend Judaism and Jewish faith all over the world. We are being persecuted. We are suffering as a people. And it is the responsibility, I believe, moral responsibility of Israel to make sure that Biafra stands as an independent entity in Africa.
Nnamdi Kanu from the Igbo people in Biafra. I want to thank you so much for this conversation and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
At personal level. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, that is a very wonderful interview by Nnamdi Kanu. I must say kudos to you. You are good at what you're doing. You are on point. But before I go into the analysis of this interview, I want to state this thing categorically clear. So many of our fans and followers, some of the people who come up to say that Channel Peters or BVI Channel 1 is anti-Biafra, is not supporting Nnamdi Kanu or any pro-Biafra group leader whatsoever. Please, I want to say this very clearly. Listen. BVI Channel 1 is a media platform that is not, aligned to any particular pro-Biafra group. BVI Channel 1 is a professional media platform, a private media platform at that, that is committed to informing the Biafran people and the general public adequately. We are void of propaganda, the traditional propaganda that media is known for. BVI Channel 1 on this platform, we see it, we say it the way it is. That is how it goes on this platform. We don't go into propaganda or damaging propaganda or blackmail or dishing out fake information. Before we bring anything on this platform, we profile it, we make sure it is authentic. Now, when it comes to Biafra agitation, we ensure that what the people get is the right information. You know, information is power. Information empowers you. And when you are deformed, then your power has been taken away from you. And that is not what we want for the Biafran people. We want the Biafran people. We know the emotional attachment when it comes to Biafra. So we want to make sure that whatever our people hear, whatever our people get from social media, from any media platform, it is authentic. And that is our responsibility. Having said that, this interview granted by Nnamdi Kanu is a very wonderful one. You can call on Nnamdi Kanu see Ronaldo freedom fighter. You know what I mean? He is a very skillful freedom fighter. Yes. You can only compare him with Maradona and the likes of C. Ronaldo when it comes to freedom fighting, because he is totally unpredictable. He is totally skillful in what he is doing. He understands his next move. He understands what he's moving or where he's heading to. Yes, this young man has shifted from different methodology, you know, trying to maneuver all the stages that he has got to get to the next level. That is Nnamdi Kanu for you. Now, if you have been following this agitation from Masop down to Bilie, indigenous people of Biafra, down to the Radio Biafra and the whole thing, you will understand that Nnamdi Kanu as a person has been able to maneuver every stage he came across. Yes. Now, we have to appreciate the fact that Nnamdi Kanu started his, you know, vulgar attack on Nigerian state through Radio Biafra by saying that he's going to bring Nigeria to a dust, that he's going to bring upon Nigeria the violence that they've never seen before. You know, all of that. And our people were just so hyped. You know, our people were all expecting Nigeria to be raised to dust. And many of them rushed to be part of it, because when it comes to Biafra, hey, leave it. Our people are so emotional about it. They can go at all lengths. People donated money for ammunition and all that. You can remember when he went to New York, he solicited for arms and all that, and which some say that that was actually the reason why he was arrested and incarcerated by Buhari. But that is a different ball game. The long and short of those of you who have been following what I've been saying, I always say that he has no case when it comes to Biafra agitation. Whatever incarceration or whatever, he has no case of terrorism or treason and all that. I know that. We all know that. His beef is between him and Buhari. That is a totally different thing when it comes to Biafra agitation. So what I'm saying in essence is that Nnamdi Kanu, when he got to that stage, he understood that he had pulled the frustration and anger of our people in one box, ready to explode. You know, and he was able to manage it properly, in the sense that he got to the court, he made some strong statements and all that, raised a lot of people to back him, so many protests, many people were ready to die for him, and many people actually died for him. Yet because he told them it is Biafra or death. You heard it from him. That is it. Now, he smartly, after his release, said that he's going to go to Abuja. I don't know how serious he is about that, but he said he's going to go to Abuja to get the Buhari's head. But I know all of that. What I'm trying to say is that he is very good at what he's doing. Yes. Nnamdi Kanu, if you know him like I do personally, He is not a violent person. Nnamdi Kanu will not, if you are expecting bombs and tanks to be rolled out, Nnamdi Kanu will never do that, honestly speaking. Mark my word anywhere. Yes, that is Nnamdi Kanu for you. But he understands how to arouse that frustration, the anger of our people, to say no to Nigerian state, to say enough is enough, to rise up, because our people have been sleeping. Our people are, take it or leave it. The young man has done perfectly well when it comes to dishing out information, conscientizing our people. He's the best. Nobody can compare to him. That is his talent. That is his mission, and he has accomplished that perfectly. Now, having said that, Nnamdi Kanu has got to the point from that interview, has come to the point of international diplomacy, which he started and knew very well that he can only get that from Israel if he subscribes to Judaism. And that is exactly what he's doing. He perfectly answered questions when it comes to the connection between Igbo and the Jewish state. At the point the interviewer asked him, is he looking for a Jewish state or a Biafran state or an autonomous state? He said he's going for a Jewish state and trying to link up the Igbo cultural identity with that of the Jews. That is correct. You can argue with your ancestors, but the truth of the matter is that when it comes to the Old Testament and the Igbo culture and tradition, they have the same. They are just one and the same. They don't just have similar. They are just one and the same. And that was exactly what Nnamdi Kanu said there, which is correct. That when Christianity came and our forefathers read the Old Testament of the Bible, they embraced it. If you read the book of Ekwuano, the first slave that got himself freed, an Igbo slave that got himself freed, he said that when he took some verses of the scriptures, when he read them, it coincided accurately with the tradition of his people. And if peradventure that Bible were written by Igbos, the white men will say that they are bringing their culture to them because they are just one and the same. So what I'm saying in essence is that Nnamdi Kanu understood that perfectly and knew that Igbo, both circumcision and all the traditional observation, honestly, is Jewish. Yes. Now, and he also said something very striking. I love it so much. When he said that Igbo is not expecting to flood Israel, to now locate to Israel, to now take their place in the Jewish state. No, that Igbo wants a free state in their land here in Igbo land. So that is some of the things the guy said, and I must tell you, the guy has shifted from all these strong-worded, all those kind of arousement that they're going to do this and do that, all of that has come to an end. Now he's not trusting towards what I call religious international diplomacy. That is what he's trying to get from the Israeli government. I don't know how successful that will be, honestly speaking, and I'm very optimistic that it's going to work for him. While other pro-Biafran groups are doing their own, Nnamdi Kanu is doing his own from this angle. I've been hearing and reading from the internet that he has been given protection by the Israeli government, that the Israeli government is now becoming an ally to the Biafran state and all that. Trust me, I want you to get this, because that is where I'll be wrapping it up on this. Anything you hear or watch or even read on the internet that is outside the official site of the Israeli government is nothing but propaganda. I don't want this to be or turn out to become another Turkish diplomat. that was used in the past to link Biafra agitation with Turkey. Listen and listen good. In as much as I have confidence that this move would work, I don't want anyone to capitalize on it to misinform and mislead our people through any social media platform, because so many people have faceless Facebook accounts, social media website and blog site where they dish out information that are total hoax, that are totally false. They will come up to tell you that British government have allied with the Israeli government to do this, or the Israeli government have issued this and that. If it is not from the official website of the Israeli government, please disregard it. And I don't even expect the informations, the diplomatic agreement that will be going on to be on the public domain, at least for now. If there should be any authentic statement from the Israeli government, it has to be on their website or through a verifiable source, either a government official, well-known, or even from the Prime Minister addressing any international community. I would say, as a way of wrapping it up on this episode, I want to deliver this message. I have this message for some time now, and I think it is right time I release it to the Biafran people. Listen attentively.
Night is coming, and it brings death along with it. We have fought ourselves. We have accused and blackmailed ourselves. We have lied against ourselves, and we have all failed in our individual attempt to achieve freedom. It is time. It is time we stand together to fight our common enemy for our freedom and for generations unborn. Because if we fail, our children will never have a chance to have children of their own. This is my message to all pro-Biafra leaders.
Having said that, now you've had it, I want to sincerely apologize to every pro-Biafran group leaders that have been in one way or the other being offended, or in any way you felt that this platform have misrepresented you in any way. We apologize. I personally apologize on that. In the spirit of unity, I want our people to unite to get their freedom. Unity is paramount. I want to sincerely apologize and pledge that everyone should let bygone be bygone. Yes, we all have made a mistake. We all have in the past made a mistake, but we shouldn't lie and live by the mistakes that we made. Someone like Clifford Irania, I respect him so much. He has done so much for the Biafra agitation. In the past, yes, I made some statement about him collecting money from the Biafran people and living by the Biafran contribution. After due verification, after proper verification, we understood that the young man is totally innocent of that accusation. So I want to sincerely apologize to him, and not just to him, but other pro-Biafran group leaders. Someone like Masob leader, whom have been blackmailed, battered by so many media platforms on behalf of all Biafran media platforms. If you exclude yourself, make that disclaimer, make the disclaimer on your platform. But here, I want to authentically apologize to all those who have been offended by any media platform, especially this platform, in any way. Please, in the spirit of unity, let bygone be bygone. Asina, you will one Adam no. On this, I wrap it up on this edition. And stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. It is very important through the channel you get every information you need to get. And that is why I keep asking you to subscribe on our channel. Click on the red button and on the bell for notification. Visit our website, and from the link you get the links to our app, iOS, Windows, and Android. You have all the information right there on your gadgets. Till I come your way next time, I still remain associated Peters, saying, stay blessed, and above all, stay safe. Goodbye.